All right, welcome back everybody. So here it is, Tuesday, May 28th, right at 10:30. Temperature's about 80 degrees, humidity is 77%, and it definitely feels like it. So I'm actually out here to get into the yellow swarm trap, which is the one closest by the road. This trap location's been pretty hot this year, and this, if it's a swarm, which it looks like it, I'll show you here in a second, this will be swarm number 11. So let me show you the entrance. And I noticed an increase in activity about 3 days ago as soon as I put the trap up, which is absolutely remarkable to me at least. So yeah, let me show you this, and then same thing, we'll just move the trap down. I have a Pro Nuke out here which seems to work pretty well, and if it's a swarm, which I imagine it would be, we'll get the 5 frames moved over into the Pro Nuke, and then we'll get them moving along over the next few days into the yard, onto the stand, and then move them into some 10 frame equipment. But yeah, here, check this out. So there's been a pretty steady cluster at the top portion there. Not really sure what's going on. Decent cluster and activity at the entrance, but only one way to find out what's going on is by taking a look inside. So I'm just gonna get suited up, get the smoker lit, all the usual things. And then, yeah, we'll see if the yellow trap has caught another swarm. It's been a very nice location this year. I always come out and kind of check the usual spots in the trees, and I don't really see anything. But yeah, let's take a look and see if we have our 11th swarm for the season. All right, let's take a first look. And okay, interesting. All right, well, as y'all saw, that was a bit of a false alarm. So it is now 10:45, been out here for a little bit. Let me show you what I did with this location. So I ended up taking the yellow trap down. There's just some field bees hanging out in there. Not really sure what's going on. And put the Pro Nuke up and have both entrances open. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And I was about to head back to the house and heard a usual sound from the bee yard, and it appears something is going on with number 11. So number 11 had quite a few queen cells on the bottom. If you didn't catch that previous video, and not 100% sure, but I'm thinking maybe one of those cells has finally hatched and this could be her mating flight. I kind of doubt they're swarming again, because they've been queenless long enough to where they should be requeening or have requeened, and maybe she recently made it. But yeah, definitely something to get into. And as you can see, they're still marked with a brick on top, which is my indication that they have something going on with their queen. So yeah, something to get into this weekend. So it's already Tuesday, or actually later this week since I'm taking a few days off. But yeah, I will show you what I can if I find anything. And I'm just looking around some of the usual treetops, and I actually do have a few other swarm traps to check down the pathway there. So let's give them a few minutes to figure out what they're wanting to do, and I might have a little more work in the bees today than I initially thought when I came out to check on the yellow trap. It's very odd to see that many bees kind of clinging to the outside of the trap and some inside, but definitely not a swarm at all. And there are quite a few bees flying around right here, to include the white trap. I still haven't replaced those medium frames. So they have 5 medium frames, and they've been in there for quite a while, but a few more bees checking out the front of that trap. Yeah, let's go look at the other traps closer to the house and down the path. And yeah, something to keep an eye on, because number 11's definitely up to something right now. Sure enough, there's a swarm right there. I don't know if this is going to come up. I also don't know why they like this area. Go figure, it's the area where I really can't get to and I don't have any swarm traps, but just a show y'all right there. There's a trap right there, and we do have some bees checking it out, so no kidding. Come on over. All right, I have an idea. I'm gonna get the ladder back out. I'm gonna get up where the yellow trap was, pull the Pro Nuke down, transfer those 5 frames back into the yellow swarm trap, and then put the yellow swarm trap on top of the ladder right underneath that tree. I've done it before, and just getting a swarm trap in close proximity to where a swarm is resting does the trick. So wish me luck. All right, this is the best I can do for now. Sprayed the 2 open entrances, so a matter of maybe 10 feet or so. Just gonna see what happens over the course of the next few hours, give them some time to settle in. But I don't know if this is gonna come up on camera or not. There's enough bees flying low enough, checking out this trap. In fact, I'm gonna open up the other entrance and bait that too. But yeah, we'll see. They're looking for a home, and I am trying to accommodate. So this could be swarm number 11, since the other one on the tree, as y'all saw, was false alarm. It's kind of weird, but that's all part of beekeeping. Yeah, it's a decent size I'd like to rescue. All right, just gonna give them a few hours and see what happens throughout the rest of the day. All right, here it is. It's like 11:50 or so. I know I said I was gonna give it a few hours and kind of check on them throughout the day, but here I am. So they are still there, and I have the old long arm. Actually took a pretty nicely established, drawn out frame from number 10, I believe. And I have the Pro Nuke ready to go. So just like early March or mid-March, maybe late March, just gonna raise the bucket, give them a few taps, see what I can get into the bucket, onto the frame, queen cage at the ready, and just kind of go from there. So wish me luck. It's worked out earlier this year, so here I am, late May, rescuing swarms still. All right, just gonna repeat that a few times until I get most of the bees into the box. Round 2. All right, so I got the pole propped up on the pallets here. I'm gonna set maybe a 10 or 15 minute timer and see if the bees really start moving towards that frame, and or if they start crawling off the branch onto that frame. So that's gonna be round 3. I'm not sure if I got the queen because I was trying to move pretty quickly, but again, 10 or 15 minute timer, come back, check on them, and just kind of go from there. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, and it looks like a decent amount of bees have moved onto the frame. So I'm about to pull the bucket down, set them in place, and get them transferred over. Let's see, grab the queen cage. Round 3. Still a decent amount up there, so I'm just going to keep doing this until I get most of them. All right, latest idea. Bridge the gap between the swarm, the rest of the swarm that's on the branch, with the ladder. And my idea, since the Pro Nukes are so light, I'm going to carry that up there and see how close I can get it, since there's a few very useful branches right underneath the swarm. Open up the one side of the Pro Nuke, and maybe that will entice them just to move on in, since they're looking for a home. All right, give you a quick ground side look. The Pro Nuke actually just tipped that way, so I'm gonna get up there again and secure it better. But I was also gonna get up on top of the ladder to show you a closer look of the other side, mainly to see if the bees are starting to make their way into the Pro Nuke. So let me climb back up there, fix that, and then show you the side we can't see from here. All right, bit of a bird's eye view from the swarm trap. So this is my view. Still a pretty good portion on the tree and on the branch there, but let's swing around. And this is the view that I cannot necessarily see from here, but I can see a little glimpse through the viewfinder, and it's very hard to tell. There you go. I cracked the lid a little bit just to entice them to move on in. So I'm gonna set about an hour timer and see if this is producing any results. One last view of the other entrance that is open, the only entrance that's open. So we'll see, give them about an hour, and hopefully this works. Yeah, about 20 foot up. And this side's open too. Quick view on the top. Yeah, we'll see. All right. It's been just over an hour, and as you can see, I need to figure out a better way to secure that Pro Nuke, since the branch it's resting on is at a pretty decent angle, maybe like 45 degrees. So it looks like the bees have actually started to move more towards the nuke trap, but obviously that's not really working out too well. So let me get that adjusted and figure out what I can do here. All right, here it is after 2 o'clock, and after quite a few fails, as in dropping the Pro Nuke, probably 3 times from about 20 foot up, I grabbed an easier to use ratchet strap. Actually, it doesn't ratchet. That's why it's easier to use, and you can maneuver it with one hand. So I'm gonna leave the lid off, and hoping that entices the colony to move from where they are down into the Pro Nuke. So it's been here for maybe less than 5 minutes. Bees are checking it out, which is a good sign. I'm gonna hang out for a few minutes, see if I can tell if they're starting to migrate. And if not, I don't know. I might try to shake them. I might move the Pro Nuke to where it's more underneath the colony, try to shake them into it, and then get them resituated as is. That is all TBD, because I am balancing on the ladder here, which is semi-stable. So yeah, I'm just gonna give them a few minutes, see if they start moving towards the frames. And in fact, I have a few frames down on the ground. I might grab one of them and start scooping them towards the colony. So all TBD, since they're slowly moving in. But yeah, hopefully this works. Nice size colony to rescue. Okay, that's all for now. All right, here's the latest and greatest. I got this thing ratchet strapped pretty tight, and I'm about to just give them a shake. So here we go. Oh, that ain't moving. Great. Nope. No shake there. I mean, maybe the whatever tree this is, but the pine branch, that ain't moving. There we go. Let's see. Maybe I can start scooping the rest with the frame, or actually, since I have the lid up here, let's see what we can do just to get them knocked down. Hey, most progress I've made all day. All right, let's get them covered up for the most part, and see if I got the queen. Give it maybe an hour, and if they're back up on this branch, swing and a miss. But if they're mostly fanning, which some of them already are, maybe that was a win. Been at this all day. Last thing I thought I'd be doing today after moving swarm number 10 over into the yard, just happened to walk out and saw number 11 swarming, which is funny because it's our 11th swarm of the season. So all right, TBD for now, but that is the bulk of them. Finally managed to get the bulk of them into the swarm trap. So yeah, we shall see. The things you do. Decided to close the lid up, and if I can swing around and show you, I got that entrance open. Interestingly, all those bees that were on the branch, it's only been a few minutes, less than 5. I looked up and they were just gone, so not sure where they could have went. I don't think they migrated down into the box that fast, but we'll see. Again, I'll give it an hour, and then if this entrance activity is pretty busy, I'll try to turn the box about, what, 90 degrees I guess would be, and then just leave them in place for a day or so. Okay. All right, here it is just after 6:30. There's some activity at the entrance, not much, hard to tell what's really going on. We received about ½ an inch to maybe close to an inch of rain this afternoon. Pretty good downpour. Yeah, this area is pretty wet. Not terrible, but decent. Sloppy at least. Ton of mosquitoes out here, so I'm about to put my veil on. But yeah, I'm gonna get up there, pull them down, probably just rest them on top of, yeah, look at all these mosquitoes. Rest them on top of the swarm trap, just use that as a workspace. And if it looks like the majority of the colony is in there, fantastic. Break the ladder down to an A-frame, set it on top of the pallets how I had earlier, and just leave the nuke on top right about there for the next day or two. All right, let me get suited up, get up there and see what's going on. Well, I'll be all that work for nothing. That is amazing. I'm gonna walk around, check a few spots, but yeah, who knows? That is insane. Hours of work today to try and catch a swarm, and that just did not work out.